Welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder, Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Administrator for the great city of Sanford. Today's episode is about a mobile app, and I'm proud to announce that the city of Sanford has a new mobile app called Sanford Connects. And I have a great special guest with me today, Bob Keegan. Bob Keegan is our IT manager extraordinaire, and he has led the way with his team of two other people to provide and offer and bring this new platform to the public and to our residents and visitors. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Lisa.
So you're usually behind the scenes. We know that. You're IT. You're there to, make sure our technology is on the up and up and that everything's working. If there's something wrong, we're without a computer, it's very frustrating. And so we appreciate IT no matter what it is in our daily business. But today's topic, Sanford Connects, is really just a watershed moment for the city because we have announced this new mobile app for Android and Apple users, and we just want folks to use it to its fullest capacity. And so, Bob, there's a lot of features on this app called Sanford Connects, which is a free mobile app, right, that you recommend people learn how to use, right? Especially as it comes across as the our service request feature. All right, that's and notifications. You want to talk more about those things and kind of what sold you on the app?
Yeah, first I want to start off with the name of the app because it really kind of follows a theme that Lisa, I think you really kind of started with, Sanford Says and then which is the podcast that you're listening to, and then also the Sanford Speaks, that community conversation. And then Sanford Connects. So it just had a nice fit to it. So I just kind of want to start with that, and I thought that was a really cool name to give it.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, we put a email out to all the city employees, and we came up with this. People have come up with several names, and this was one of the top 3, and it became the top name. So we did enlist our city employees to come up with a name. But you're right. We have a theme going here at the city of Sanford when it comes to communications.
Yeah, and so you can kind of think of the mobile app as kind of the portal to the city's information and services. It's almost like the Cliff Notes version of our website. Our website is full of information and easy to get to services and try really to kind of navigate through everything that the city does provide. So you can kind of think of it like that. It's just the Cliff Notes version of the website. And so really there's 3 main functions or features that the mobile app provides folks. And, I first want to start off that, IT, we really focus internally a lot in helping, especially enabling our employees to provide services to the public. So this was a nice special project effort to kind of, do something directly for the public, providing the app and the new website design. And so, and 2 very instrumental people that are on the IT staff that worked incredible amount of hours and had a lot of insights that you worked with very closely, Lisa, to kind of bring this to fruition.
Yes.
Mike Jones, who is very, very good from a graphical perspective and kind of, seeing themes and things like that, and Eric Deerbeck, who is more on the technical side and kind of, put all the pieces and parts together from a technical side, and also has, kind of has that fresh look of website design. So I really want to give those 2 kudos because they were very instrumental to making this happen.
Yeah.
So the app itself, the first main feature is notifications. And so this is kind of a really cool service that the city really didn't have in its communication toolbox. And notifications, we now have the capability where we can proactively send you information instead of you coming to us to find that information. If that's through the website or through social media or just word of mouth even. So this is a way for us to push out information directly to you, to your smartphone, so that you can get real-time news or whatever the topic may be. So that's really a cool feature of the app. And then the second is to submit requests. So folks now have the capability to report an issue. If it's, for example, a pothole or a tree limb down, and then obviously within the city limits, and then the requesters can also attach photos. So if you see a pothole, you can take a picture of the photo. If there's a tree down, you can take a picture of that, and then include that with the request. And then you put some information about where, location of it, and then any kind of comments. And then once you submit it, then you can actually track your requests, where you can, the request will be updated when it's completed, and then you will be notified when that request is actually completed. So it's kind of a cool little feature where you can get some level of communication or status updates from the city.
Right. All from your cell phone, right?
Yep.
That's
all from your cell phone. Yep. And then the third is what I call info links. And these are just shortcuts or quick links to popular topics that are either on our website or on another Sanford application, such as, if you want to do any kind of pavilion rentals or reach out to development services for whatever they provide, those services. So those are examples of those other Sanford apps.
Yeah, so that's a great review of what and how and what is so important about our mobile app. A city government utilizing the App Store, a free app to provide access to city government. You can get outbound information, sign up for whatever suits your needs. If you like to hear information about, if you want to be updated on city news, if you want to be updated on events, parking, road closures, we're going to be using this app to totally, and I don't want to use the word inundate, but we want to definitely get the word out so that you are an informed resident or visitor to the city of Sanford. So while you're listening to this podcast, I'm hoping you're staring at your phone and you've gone to your podcast or your store, not podcast store, but your app store, and you've already downloaded the Sanford mobile app called Sanford Connects, because then it'd be really interesting to listen to us while you are scrolling around on your phone and you're totally immersed in City of Sanford information. And so I think that's the whole point of this, is that in this day and age, everybody's like doing 10 things at once. So you can be listening to a podcast and then also scrolling through our new app. And so that's what's so wonderful about technology, right? And so I want to thank you, Bob, and your staff, because it definitely was a Herculean effort, it seemed like, in these last moments. But we got it past the finish line. And we're so looking forward to seeing how many people actually download this app. I know there's a lot to choose from out there, but really to be engaged with your city government and to have us at your fingertips, as you may say, to report things and just hear about what's going on firsthand, straight from the source. It's a great opportunity to do that. Just add one more app on your phone there and just move it to a place where you'll find it. But we wanted to say one thing too. So when you download the app, you are automatically going to be getting notifications from us, all kinds of notifications, important to say the least. But if you actually decide to register, which is by your email and your phone number, then you can tailor your notifications from the city. Like if you just want to have information about events, you can just click that button and you'll just get information about events. And then in addition to that, you can also do the service request feature, as Bob was mentioning. So it's really a great opportunity to, like I said, you have the city of Sanford on your cell phone. We're just a click away from whatever else you may need. Whatever it's out there, use your camera on your phone. use that service request feature, and just let us keep us updated. Let us know. Give us some feedback. I mean, you could always email communications here at the City of Sanford. Go to our website, as Bob mentioned, sanfordfl.gov. If you have not been to the city website lately, Eric, internally, Mike, his team of two have really just refreshed that city website internally. We didn't even hire a third party vendor, and so the creativity is there, and the information has been so I say aligned with being user friendly, because we work here. We know what the needs of our residents and citizens are, rather than sourcing it out to a third party. So check out the city website. Make sure that you download the city app, and you won't be disappointed. And we thank you for also listening to this podcast. This is a great way to get city information. We sent a press release out. That's a traditional way of getting information out. But if you're not on our press release distribution list, sign up for the app, and then you'll get a notification that we have a new app. And so we'll be launching our first notification tomorrow or later on this week, and to everybody, it's some big news about a community survey that the city of Sanford is going to be offering in the fall. And so I think, any last words, Bob? I know you've said some great things and provide some good information.
Yeah, you touched base on the website, and I do want to just kind of give a little bit of insight about some of the behind the scenes stuff that took place on that. That we really started this whole journey, so to speak, about a year ago, and we just started from scratch, a new technology and just a kind of a new way of looking at how the website is designed and flows and how people navigate. And so, I challenged the team to, I just have one requirement, and that was to make it a positive experience for everyone, and that includes the public, and it also includes the employees too. So I think if you haven't been to the website, please, I invite you to go check it out, because it is a positive experience, and it has a fresh look. What we spent a lot of time before the mobile app was rolled out is that we made our mobile version of the website much better than it has been. So if you haven't been to the mobile version of it in the last month or two, definitely go check it out. It's a lot better than it was. Also, it's easier to navigate and just find things in general. Less clicks from the previous site. It's more searchable. And it has kind of the same look and feel. So if you're on one page, you go to another page in a different department, it kind of has that same look and feel. So, and then I would say, and also the other thing is, I asked Mike and Eric, I said, hey, give me some fun facts from the old site and the new site. And so some of the fun facts is, the old site, we had up to 500 pages, web pages.
That's a lot, I assume, right?
Yes, that is a lot. And so they spent a lot of time just kind of, consolidating those pages. And now we're down to 150.
Wow.
So that's kind of the less clicks.
Yeah.
And so we had thousands of documents, and we're down well below 500 documents. So like 2,000 to 500. So a lot of effort to do something like that. And,
what a huge undertaking. Yep.
Huge undertaking. So again, if you haven't checked out the website, I invite you to do that, and hopefully you enjoy it. And if you have any ideas, Lisa?
Yeah.
How do they?
You can contact myself, communicate@sanfordfl.gov. You can email me. You can call us. Our staff directory is on the city website. IT's on there. Everybody, all the department directors, each department is there for you as well. And so that website is our window to the world. So if you're listening to this and you're not a Sanford resident, or if you're, even if you're in Florida somewhere, but you get a picture of what the city is like through our website. It's the first glance at, even if you're considering moving here, I would think you probably would go to a city website. And so it's your first glance at what that community may be like. And so it's really important that
It's the city's business card.
it is. There you go. It's the city's business card, and so we just it's critical and important. And thank you for, of course, we all thank you for the work of IT, and this app and launching that. And so, IT and communications work in partnership together, and on lots of projects. And I thank you and your team for assisting with a lot of that as well, Bob. So. Any last words? Go download the app.
Right, that's it.
All right. This is Lisa Holder, Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Administrator with the City of Sanford. That was Bob Keegan, IT Manager for the City of Sanford. You're listening to Sanford Says. And please download the app, Sanford Connect. Go to your Google Play Store or your Apple App Store. And then while you're at it, you can subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we will be back again. Have a great day. Thanks.